Yes, how you doing? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the color replacement tool. Come on. The color replacement tool is located right here beneath the brush tools, the pencil tool actually, and the shortcut is B. Click over there, and we're going to experiment with some, our favorite character, Iron Man. So I got like 2 pictures of him, and before we work on it, we have to rasterize the layers, right? So click and rasterize the layer, and then now you can work on it, right? Right, now let's first experiment with where normally it's going to be here on color, on the modes, right? Before we even talk about the modes, let's talk about the first thing here, right? Over here you can obviously change the size of the brush, right? Over here you can change the hardness on the feather. See that now when I do this? Control Z, Control Z. So that is the featherness or the hardness of the brush, right? Let me just put it on hard. And then the spacing of the brush. For example, if I put it like up here on like 162, now look at the spacing of the brush. See that? Great. Control Z. And then now if I put it to like, I don't know, 13, it's gonna be even closer, right? But to see exactly what's going on, let me just put it on like 40, 44. Oh yeah, see that? You see that? Yeah. And now let's try 71. You see that? It's almost making like a dotted line, so to say, right? And the more you open it, the more the lines are gonna be apart from each other. I think that's straightforward. I don't know why I'm dwelling on that. I don't know why I'm dwelling on that. I think that's straightforward, right? Yes. Wait, so let's put it like on 1 because I don't want any spaces. Great, this right here is the angle, right? You can adjust the angle with your number keyboard, or you can just come here and click and move this, and you can change the angle of the brush. There's no need for me to change the angle because the angle is round. I'm sorry, the brush is round, so there's nothing, right? Great. Right here is the pen pressure, right? Yes, normally if you use a tablet, right? I got a tablet over there, and I don't know why I never use my tablet on Photoshop. Never once. I don't know why. I don't think I need it, right? I only use it on illustration, Adobe Illustrator when I'm drawing stuff and drawing cartoons and all those kind of things. Yeah, then I can use it. But Photoshop, I never use it, right? So these options right here are pretty good for graphics tablet, the pen pressure and the whatnot. They're very good for that, right? So you can set up the size of the pen and all that, right? And the tolerance, right? Great, but for now, just leave it as it is. It's okay. Great, let's move on to modes, right? Modes, normally it would be on color, just like this. And the modes are, well, if you want to know about, if you don't know what hue is, saturation, color, obviously you know what color is, luminosity. If you don't know these things, I have a bunch of videos in my channel. Just go ahead and subscribe so you can get those videos and go learn the hue and the saturation and the luminosity, right? Great, because right now I'm trying to explain the tool, right? I don't want to shift from the niche of the video, right? Yeah, so let's just explain the color replacement tool. Yep. Right, so right now on color, the mode is gonna change the color of the color, right? So I'm gonna replace this color with the foreground color. Let's make it an interesting color. How about like bluish? Yeah, how about yeah, something like that, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna replace this color with the foreground color, right? So when I click, it's gonna replace to blue, right? Keep in mind, this is a replacement tool. It's not a brush. I'm not brushing, I'm not painting over. You get it? I'm not painting over. I'm changing the color. Please keep that in mind, okay? Yeah, because you're gonna end up confusing this with a brush tool, and you're gonna find yourself using this instead of a brush tool, and you're gonna confuse yourself a lot, right? Right. Let me just duplicate this layer before I continue. Yeah, in case I want to make some comparisons. Great. Again, replacing the color, right? Great. And then we have hue, saturation, right? Now, obviously, we saturate whatever area that we are on, right? Let's say we want to saturate this part right here, right? You can make the brush a little, If you want to make the brush a little smaller, come up here and make it a little smaller like this. So we're going to saturate this area right here, right? Click saturate, saturate, saturate. See that? Saturate the chin, saturate the chin like that. Okay, great. Before, before and after, before and after, right? Great. Control Z, go back. Hue, right? We change the hue. Again, let's go to the color. Go to the background color and put back the blue like that. Right. Now, let us saturate. What did I do here? I didn't Control Z. I have to Control Z. Oh, there you go. Right. So now we are on hue. We're going to change the hue of, again, this side right here with blue, right? Click, drag. That is the hue. It's not just the color, it's the hue. You see that? Yes. There you go. Wonderful, right? Before and after. Great. Now, let's experiment with the luminosity, right? Click. And that's it. Right? That. Right? You can do the eyes like that. And that's it. Right? Great. Again, if you don't know what luminosity is, if you don't know what hue is, if you don't know what... I have a bunch of videos. Go ahead and subscribe and you're gonna get everything here, right? Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to explain here today, right? Now let's move on. Over here, I think I've explained this probably a lot in this channel too, but then I'm gonna do it again, right? Great. Right here is continuous, right? These are the sampling options, right? Continuous, it sample continuously. So if I click and drag here and keep going, it doesn't matter. It keeps going like that, right? It's pretty straightforward. I think that is like the default. There's not really anything to it, right? Right here is sampling once, right? Sample once, which means I pick a color like this one, right? Sample this one, and I can keep going. But as soon as I jump over, I don't paint here. I don't work here, right? But if I come to something that looks like that color, right? Again, it continues like so, right? Right. Over here is the background swatch, right? So you come over here and you change the background to your desired color, like green, okay? And then now, again, it's the background, it's not the foreground. So click X to transfer the green up there. Oh, you know what? It's okay. Click X and make it the background again because it's the background, right? I feel like these colors are looking the same. Let's make them look different. Blue and green, right? We have blue as a background and then we have green as a foreground, right? Right now we are using the background, okay? It's the background, so it's gonna sample the blues. Click X again to sample on the background. Make sense? Right. Now I'm sampling green, right? There's no green here, so no matter where I go, no matter where I click, you see that? Click, 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 click. There's nothing going on now because there's no green. But again, if I come down to the foreground and pick a color like this one, you know what? Actually, I can just hover and get an eyedropper like this, right? If I get an eyedropper like this, then obviously I can click on a color like this one, right? And then click OK. So now I can only work on this color, not this one, right? So if I click here and move, you see that I'm affecting that color, not this one, right? Not any of these ones, right? Yes, right here, this one looks like that one, so I'm gonna affect it, okay? Again, it's not every color that looks totally different, okay? Yes, so this one looked like that one, and sometimes the tolerance would get even a little more or a little less, okay? And then that's where we come in right now in the tolerance. I'm gonna explain the tolerance, right? Right. Control Z, go back. Before I talk about the limits, right? Let me talk about the tolerance, right? Again, right now we're sampling this color like this, right? But this color looks like this one, except this one is a little brighter, right? Great. How about if we make the tolerance lesser, like 5%, right? It may sample or rather work here, but then not very much, okay? Yes, let's try. You click here, okay, we're getting, of course, but then when we cross over, you see that I'm not getting anything, right? Anything. There's nothing. You see that? I'm not getting anything, right? Come back here, I'm getting something. Control Z. Now, if we put the tolerance to like 70, 74, right now it's gonna go with everything. Look at this, everything. It's almost gonna be everything. So you gotta be careful with the tolerance, okay? Because every color that is looking a little closer to that color is gonna be affected, right? So you need to be very careful with the tolerance, right? Right. Control Z. Now over here to limits, right? Limits up. Why am I even explaining this? I have a whole video that I explain this. Contiguous affects one color in a radius. Discontiguous affects everything. Find edges on the whole design, right? So I have a whole video if you want to see everything, examples and everything. I have a video. You can click on the pop-up right now on top and go watch the video, right? I don't want to drag a long time in this video, right? Alias and anti-alias, right? Right now it says alias. I'm gonna reduce the size of the brush. Okay, I'm gonna show you something, right? And what am I gonna do? What are we gonna work with? Let's hue is fine. And then let's just brush over like this, right? Or rather, let's work with color, all right? And then brush over like that. Again, bring back to continuous. Okay, brush over like this. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Right. Let me zoom in. Okay, and then now we're gonna say we're gonna untoggle anti-alias, and then now we're gonna brush over again, right? Pay attention to the roughness of the brush. Okay, pay attention to the roughness of the brush. You see this? This one is a lot smoother. This one is a little rickety on the edges, right? I could even make this smaller because sometimes this thing makes a lot of appearance when it's smaller, right? Anti-alias on, click drag, Okay, all right. And click anti-alias, drag. All right, you see that? Can you see you don't see the difference, really? Wow, look at this. No, look at this. You don't see the difference on the brush edges? Look at the brush edges. Both of them are different, right? Yes, so this one is the anti-alias. This one is the no anti-alias, right? Yes, so look at the edges of the brushes, both of them, right? Great. I hope that makes a little sense. If it doesn't, if you feel like you don't really see what I'm trying to show you, then I could make a whole video separately explaining this, right? All you gotta do is say something down in the comments, and then I'm gonna explain it deeply and perfectly, right? Right. Over here is the angle. Again, this is the same as that. Is the same as this. So even when I move here, the angle, you see over here is changing, right? If I change here, over here is changing. Or if I change here, over here will change, right? So if I do like this, and then over here we change too, right? Great. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the color replacement tool. In the next video, I'll be talking about the mixer brush tool. Now that would be an exclusive video because a mixer brush tool is a lot deeper than you think, right? It's not just a tool, it's a whole program, all right? So it's gonna be a whole different video. I'm gonna be really going deep, trying to explain this as much as I can. So go ahead and put a like, share this video, okay? Share this video, and I will see you in a scroll.